Okay, we'll get back on my wheel here. So I'm gonna have to rough this in here a little bit, finish up getting it laced up. So I'm gonna tighten up these until they get a little bit tight, and then I'll tighten up all the loose ones after that. So for now, I started by, these are all bottomed out against the thread right here. So you can't see any threads right now. So now I'm just gonna go up a certain amount each time around. I go up. You know, you can count the flats, you go turns, whatever you want to do, depending on where you're at. If you're using a screwdriver over here, usually I go half turns or turns. Down here I go by flats. So we got to rough it all in. Let's see what we got here. Come on, camera. There it goes. Alright, so let's get started on this thing. That'd be good enough for a picture. Oh. Alright. Start with the screwdriver first. This one has a little titty in the center to see if it's centered. So you gotta start with where the valve stem hole is at. That'd be right here on this wheel. That'd be the valve stem hole. So let's just do one turn at a time. Half one, half one, half one, half one. I don't think we're going very far. Go back and do it some more. Where'd I go at? Right here. That's better. We're gonna go two. Half one, one half two. Half one, two, four. Half one, two. Half one, half two. So two of the spokes are tight. Half one, two. These are tight. Next two are always loose. These don't really matter how much you go, they're loose. These ones will matter. Half one. I can't go anymore, so it's going to be out of whack. With my valve stem hole, and I'm 180 across. That's why we're getting tight. Half one, one and a half, and the second one's tight. That one's tight at one turn. That's half turn. Can't go any more now on that one. These are already tight. Right from the start, these are tight. Valve stem hole is right up here. Can't go any tighter. Those are all loose. Two, we're good on that one. There's one turn. I can't go any more on that. Skip that one. Half one, one and a half two. We're good on that one. Half one, one and a half two. We're good on that one. These are all loose. And valve stem hole is right here again. Alright, so these are a little bit snug. I cannot get one. So I'm going to back these off. This one and this one are tight. That one's really tight. Next two of these ones here, that one's loose. See, it's tight. It's loose. All right. It's not jiggling anymore. A little bit of up and down, not too bad. Okay, now I got a whole bunch of loose ones in here. So I'm just going to go by here with my fingers. Find me the loose ones. Tighten them up. So just going finger tight. You want all the spokes to be equal torque, not a bunch of loose ones, a bunch of tight ones. Till that was loose. Okay. These are still loose. I got drag enough so I don't want to tighten up, but they're loose. Every fourth one is loose here. Alright, I think we've got them all. Alright. There's our initial hit at making them straight. Okay, so now all these nipples are not sticking up anymore. See, all of them are pulled up against the rim at least. That's a start. Are we blowing up or not? There we go. Okay, now you gotta watch it going up and down, side to side. So initially what I want to do is I want to go around here and just tighten all the nipples up one at a time. And we're going to find where the loose ones and tight ones are at. We know it's out of true a little bit, but we want to find the loose and tight ones. I'm going to put an indicator here on the bottom, right over here, so I can kind of get a rough idea who's what. See how this is moving in right here real bad on that one spot, and most of it's pretty far over. So this one here, I want to tighten it up with a couple extra flats on this side here, which will pull the rim that way. So that's what we want to do. I'm not sure how I can show you doing any of this because you gotta be down here where I'm at to see it. Let's see, probably drop the tripod down. Aerial shot. There's how's that? That's a pretty good shot. How does that workbench look? Does it look nice? There we go. Get down here where I'm at. Let's see here. You can't really see right there. There we go. It's a hard view to tell from. So basically I'm going to start tightening these up in here. And you'll see this and hear it dragging right there. You hear it? Gives you a pretty good idea where you're at. So right there we are hitting, see? So we're doing it from a pretty good area. I think that's a very good camera shot, really. I think that camera shot sucks. Go back over here, we can see a little bit better. We'll just lower down now. Okay. So you're from here. You got fans here. That's where a fan is where two spokes cross. So you just grab pairs of fans here. You got two pairs right together. So we're hitting on this fan, this one, and this one. So you got three. One on each side of where I'm at. Okay, so these need to be tightened. I'll move this way a little bit. There's no torque on this spoke, so I'm making a little torque. That one's got torque on this one. This one's got no real torque on it. And then this one here, a little bit of torque. And now we're no longer rubbing. Over here, 180 over, right about in here, there's a gap that keeps going like this. So the wide gap I'm on right now. So this one, it needs to go the other way. So that means I got to tighten up the other side. And it's right in this area where I got my hands on two sets of fans. So I'm going to tighten those up on this side. Looks like we got a bunch of loose spokes and a bunch of tight spokes. So see, this one's loose. So 1, 2, a little bit of drag at 3. Okay, there you go. Now the wheel, that quickly, the wheel's trued up pretty good. So you can see down here, right here. See, I'm just moving it by my hand. Right now we're moving it up here. These are not tight enough. For whatever reason, that's loose. I don't know why. This one's tight. These things are loose, it doesn't help you any. Alright, they're tight now. Okay, now it moves a bunch now. That made a big difference. Okay, so all through here we're hitting. It's all fat through here. So over here we got to tighten this side. When we're touching, we got to tighten this side. Okay, so right now we're kind of chasing our tails because if you move one thing, it affects the other quite a bit because everything's loose. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and tighten up some spokes all the way around and figure out where the hell this thing's going to pull at. So we go to where our valve stem hole is, which is right down here. You can start on this side or that side, doesn't matter. Let's start on this side. I'm going to go one torque down until I feel torque. Torque, torque. Torque, torque, loose, 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 torque, some torque, not much, loose, loose, torque, 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 loose, loose, torque. That one's pretty tight, so I'm not going to move that anymore. Loose as a goose, torque. Torque, 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 torque. Okay, back where my finger is. And so we got drag on these. There's torque on this one already. And a little bit of torque on that, not much. Okay. And this whole side here, I just even them up. And now we go on the other side. So use the other hand. Do the other side. We do the same thing. So that's tight. So you're just finding all the loose ones. Most of these seem to have torque on them. Of course, the next one they do is loose. Tight, loose, tight. Not much on that, a little extra. We're back to where I started. Okay, now we got a little bit of torque on everything. Not a lot, just a little. So now I'm going to start to rough it in a little bit. Okay, we're hitting right here. These three here, especially the right through here. Torque. That's pretty tight. Leave it loose. Not much. Get some torque there. Not much on that one. Give a little more until I feel torque. No more hit. Okay, over here. Okay, this is where it starts to move from here to about there. That's like half a turn. We got a big gap. So I'm going to tighten the whole group over there one flat, about half a turn around. Alright, something like that. Okay, now I got more movement where I can see what's going on. Somewhere in this area here is where we're tight. I'm not tying me loose on my side. We'll get some torque on those ones though. Shut up. So right there on that fan, I'm going to pull over. Both of those are kind of loose. That helped. We picked up the extra one there, so I'll go one more on each one of those. If you feel a really tight one, don't tighten it. Just pull the loose ones in. Okay, that's pretty even. Okay. So now, when you look at the indicator, right there, you can see how the wheel's going up and down, but our gap here is pretty even. Okay, now to get the up and down out, we got to put the pointer right on this edge right here, and we got to get that up and down out of here. You know, actually, wherever it's worst is first, like most things. Fix the stuff that's way out of whack. That does its biggest gain. So if you look at the rim, it looks pretty true already right now. So just by spinning it, it's not really moving around that much. It doesn't take long to get this in. Now if you get all screwed up and out of sync and you get lost, just go around and find the tight spokes and loosen up the tight ones. The loose ones leave alone. And then that will unload the wheel and let it kind of come back into a round shape where it started from before you screwed it all up. So see, the trick is make everything as even as you can, not a bunch of tight and a bunch of loose. If you get a bunch of tight spots all over the place, then you got one spoke out of 2 or 3 that's trying to do all the work, and it's pulling the rim and it makes a big whoopee in the rim because you're forcing it. Okay, so right now I want to see about where my offset is at. So right now you put a straight edge up on there and you just go from the outside of the rim to the hub. Just a rough indicator. We got about the thickness of my pinky, which is about a ½ inch. Go on this side, see what we got over here. This side over here, we got a little bit more. It's pretty close. And we'll take this measuring device right here and stick in here. Got about an extra 1/8 inch with this measuring device. And right here, got about a 1/16 of an inch. So right now it's offset to the left side. Let me sit on the bike, which is actually right side because this is the brake drum on the rear. So we got a little bit extra clearance here, which is good because we need it for chain to tire clearance. So we probably want to have it go even further over that way, but we're roughed in about where I want to be anyway, just for starting purposes. We got to figure out where we're at. We have no idea what our offset is yet, so we just guess. Okay, so right now I'm going to try to work on the up and down a little bit. I got the side to side pretty good. So right down here. So there's your pointer. So looking at stuff is kind of hard to see, but hearing never fails. That's high. One high spot. Everything else is low. Move it up a little higher. Now you get high spots and a lot of dragging. You hear the dragging and the that. Okay, now you take that noise, and then you come back over here, and we work over here off the noise. Now noise means it's too low, we need to go up. So right here, my pointer's right here where my finger is. It's hitting. It's heavily dragging on this fan here. Heavily dragged. Both of these two fans here, it's heavily dragging. You can hear it rubbing hard. And it feathers away. So usually what I do is I tighten these all up, one flat, and then I'll go over here and I'll pick up one flat on each side. So I split the fan in half. If you work in fans, it makes it a little bit easier. So one flat, one, one. Now you go on the other side, catch the other one. One. Now this one's loose, and this one was loose. So I give an extra flat on those. Okay, now you listen to it. Still high, but better. About half of it's gone. Okay, so in the same group of fans, I'm going to do the same thing again. One flat. One. This is the tightest one of all of them. I'll go over here and get the other half. What are we at here? One. So now it's barely touching there. It's kind of bouncing across this area. It's pretty heavy on this group here, so I'm going to tighten these four this time. So I'm going by just noise. Noise works easiest on these jobs. One flat. So that one's pretty tight, so no more torque on you. And we're getting there too. Okay, we're starting to get some pretty good torque on this spoke, so we need to go on the other side and do some loosening. Let's go around and see what happens here. Okay, see it doesn't hit anything. So we go 180 up, right here. When we drop down, 180, there'll be this group of fans right here. Now let's see if we can find, see that sounds loose? That sounds tight. Loose, tight. Okay, so now you feel them. That doesn't have any torque to it. Not much on that one either, surprisingly. I'm going to loosen these up one. Go over here. One on that one. One on that one. Those were not tight. Hear how that got better though? Okay, I'm going to check these two fans next to see if there's a tight one in here. No, leave it tight, loosen it. That's tight, loosen it. That's tight, loosen. Next fan over here. Loosen it. No, not tight. Tight, loosen. Tight, loosen. Okay. Okay. Here I got a lot better. Okay, right here is a spot. Boom, boom. So it's like these two fans and half of this one. So go one flat tighter. One. That one wasn't very tight. A little torque. That one's pretty tight. That one's loose. Tighten it up a little bit. That one's loose too. That's tight, leave it alone. That's getting there. Loose. Not too bad. Okay, now we're no longer hitting. 180 cross, we're not hitting either. Okay, now we spin it. There's no contact. So now our overall up and down is a lot less than it was because I haven't moved the needle, but we're not hitting anymore. So there's your needle. So it's hard to see a gap, but you can definitely hear it. Okay, now we're going to move it again. Okay, it's rubbing so much all the way around. It's pretty even. So I'm going to go ahead and knock it back a little bit. So we get a little bit of side to side going on, but the up and down is pretty even. You can hear the dragging and the bump bump. Okay, and go back over here. Let's see what that looks like in the real world. Over here. Back up high, we can see. Okay, let's see what we got here. So you get all of this. It feathers out right there. So you get like 4 fans there. And these 4 fans we're not hitting, see? So we need to start going from here all the way to here, one flat. It'd be nice if we found a couple loose spokes. If the spoke doesn't want to go very easy, I don't force it. I'm trying to find the loose ones right now. They're in there somewhere. Okay. Okay, here it's rubbing kind of all the way around. Okay, hit there. There, nothing, rub lightly. We're hitting here. Notice my hand's up here too, 180 across. This is our low spot through here. So there might be one tight spoke in here somewhere. That sounds pretty tight. Not too bad. That one's pretty tight. See how it lets it drag as soon as I loosen that up. Now whatever I do on the outside, I gotta do on this side. So loosen those up just a little bit also. Okay, so now it's hitting there. 180 across. It's hitting also. We were inducing a flat spot by torque. So it's pretty close. You're probably within about 5 or 10 thou there, just by bouncing it like that. Okay, maybe go back on our side to side. Okay, so now we got her up and down here pretty good. And you can see it's going side to side. Now, one thing you want to worry about on these things, you can only do one side of the rim. This side's going to be what it is. We're only dealing with one side. Sometimes these things are really different from one side to the other. You can only do one thing at a time, so this is what you go with. Pick the side you want to work with, and that's the one you work with. So you move this over here, tighten it up a little bit there. See, I get to see where our spot comes in. Take the wrench and knock it in until it hits while you're spinning it. Okay, right there you're hitting here. And then we get a low spot all through there. So once again, you got to find your low spot with your hand. And we're going to adjust the low spot. Now the low spot needs to go this way. So there's where we touch. This is all the gap. You get a little bit closer. So the big gap is right here, see? So we're going to go over here and find that spot over here, and we're going to tighten these spokes up. All four of those spokes are pretty equal in torque. So I don't know if you can see it there, but I'm trying to get that gap out. There's another gap right here. Right there's a high spot, or in this case a low spot. The two spokes are tight though, so I don't want to force those too much. So let's go on the other side over here and we'll check to see if these are tight. They don't feel tight. Yep, they feel pretty equal. So I loosen two and tighten two. That way the up and down is the same load, so it doesn't change the up and down, hopefully. Okay, there's a spot right here. We go way over still. So right here is our worst spot for side to side. Okay, we gotta go over here. Alright, you see where I'm at on that? So I'm gonna go over here. You can see what I'm doing this direction. We need to go this way right now. Over here, you double check that. If in doubt, double check. This is our, we hit right here. Instantly we're loose through here. So definitely no further that direction. Torque wasn't too bad on those. Do that again. Oop. Hitting right now on these two, I went too much. Back it off a little bit. Okay. I'm going to start moving it this way this time. A lot of movement on the wrench, see? That one made a difference. That was one too much torque on that one. That was really loose on this one. Alright, pretty close. Okay, so throw it back down. Where are we at here? Okay, we're looking right here. I figured I induced a gap right there, didn't I? Right, starting here, we induced a gap. Laying on my leg there. Oop. Camera's falling over. Reposition. Okay, where are we looking at here? There's our worst areas right through here. Those are the two I need to hit. Yep, there's a spot right there. So we're tight and loose at the same time. how close that is. Alright, so when you look at it up here, and you spin it, you see how this side's nice and straight. Now look at this side wobbling around a little bit. So you can only fix one side. Now if you have another group of indicators on this side down here, you can fudge them back and forth and get it even out the air. But that's pretty hard to do that. That would equalize the rim. You're just equalizing your errors. When I have a really bad whoopie in one spot of a rim, I will do that. I would just kind of eyeball it and do it. You want to keep the largest error to the minimum. If it knocks out your good side to make the bad side better, that's what you got to do. Okay, so right now we got the this all figured out pretty good. So you can see why you don't go by the outside of the rim, which is this edge right here. Watch this go in and out, but not this move. See how it moves side to side, the other piece is not moving. That's why you don't go by the outside lip, because that's just the raw roll edge. It doesn't matter. See, this side has the same issue. Get up a little higher. See how it goes back and forth about 1/8 of an inch? That's why you don't come off of this surface. You come off the inside bead. That's where the tire sits. The tire doesn't hit on out here. It hits over here. It hits on this edge right on this edge. This lip here keeps from falling off. You're actually inside this groove between this flat area and this flat area here. That's where you kind of come by. Okay, now our offset. Right now, look at the distance between here. It's a good 1/2 inch at least. Go to this other side. And see how this one here is at least a 1/2 inch, if not slightly more. We're still pretty close, but not too far off. I'll put the camera down here and I can tell more what's going on. Make the camera taller first. Alright. Make the camera a little bit taller. Okay, so now I can put the straight edge, get my measuring device again. Get a good 100,000. Remember, I'm coming off the outside of the lip, which is not accurate. Usually what I do is I spin it and kind of get an average of what I'm doing. It's hard to do this with both hands. So. Okay, we got about a 1/16 more on the other side. So right now I got about a 1/16 offset toward the non-sprocket side. How's that? This is where the brake drum goes. So I got an extra 1/16 clearance for the tire, basically what I'm doing. More than likely I'll probably go more that way yet. So one thing I can do right now, I can just tighten the whole side up a little bit more. The spokes are not tight yet, they're just kind of roughed in. You still have to go in here and torque all these yet. Torquing means you go all the way around the whole wheel, tighten one flat, one flat, one flat, all the way around. You go on the other side, tighten the same thing up. If you want to go more toward one way or the other, tighten that side, another extra one all the way around. Just do one at a time though. When you get a really, really tight spoke, quit torquing it. Torque the ones next to it that are looser. Then you come back and re-true it. But you can put a lot of tension on the spokes. You want all these, basically you want all of these to be tight so they all are pulling really good and strong. It's all just a big spring is all it is. You're just pulling it real tight. If you got a lot of tension in the rim, when you bounce around it doesn't move much. If the rim is loose like it is right now, or the spokes, this rim will move around quite a bit because it's not really being held very good. It's like having a loose rope holding shit down the back of your truck. Pull the rope tight, things don't move around. Loosened up, they don't blow away, but it ain't tight either. It's bouncing all over the place. Same thing with the wheel. So right now we're not very tight because I got to move it. Okay, so from here I got to go put it in the back and put up in the back of the bike and see where we're at. So that's what we're going to do next. And I got to put a brake drum on it too, because I have to know where the chain line is at. So that's all we can do with this for now. Time to go and do more work in back. Take this axle alignment mandrel and we'll go see what we got to work with. Okay, that one goes there. Goes there. Alright, we got a bare rim now, or wheel. So you got definitions, you got a hub. Let me see it. The whole assembly is a wheel. This is a rim. The black part here is a rim. This black part's a hub. These are spokes. The whole assembly is a wheel. Now when you're talking about a mag wheel, mag is all one piece. It is a wheel. It's not a rim, it's a wheel. Now a mag wheel does have a rim part to it. So if you got a bent rim on a mag wheel, then that means its lip's bent. If it's a spoke wheel like this, the rim's bent. The rim itself is bent. You can take it all apart, put another rim on it, put it back together. So it's different definitions. So when you talk about different things, some people get confused. Other people haven't got a clue, so it doesn't matter. All right, that's it for here. I'm going to go in the back now.